सर्वस्यार्तिहरे देवी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते भयेभ्यत्राहिणो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोऽस्तुते। रोगानशेषानपहंसि तुष्टा रुष्टा तु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रितानां न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिताश्रयतां प्रयान्ते। सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्य साकिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्। ॐ दुं दुर्गायै नमः। ॐ दुं दुर्गायै नमः। ॐ दुं दुर्गायै नमः। हरि ॐ। दत्तात्रेयं महात्मानं वरदं भक्तवत्सलं प्रपन्नार्तिहरं वन्दे स्मतृगामीसनोऽवतु। दीनबन्धुं कृपासिन्धुं सर्वकारणकारणं सर्वरक्षाकरं वन्दे स्मतृगामीसनोऽवतु। शरणागतदीनार्ता परित्राणपरायणं नारायणं विभुं वन्दे स्मतृगामीसनोऽवतु। सर्वानर्थहरं देवं सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गलं सर्वक्लेशहरं वन्दे स्मतृगामीसनोऽवतु। ब्रह्मण्यं धर्मतत्त्वज्ञं भक्तकीर्तिविवर्धनं भक्ताभीष्टप्रदं वन्दे स्मतृगामीसनोऽवतु। शोषणं पापपङ्कस्य दीपनं ज्ञानतेजसः तापप्रशमनं वन्दे स्मतृगामीसनोऽवतु। सर्वरोगप्रशमनं सर्वपीडानिवारणं विपदुद्धरणं वन्दे स्मतृगामीसनोऽवतु। जन्मसंसारबन्धघ्नं सर्वरूपानन्ददायकं निःश्रेयसपदं वन्दे स्मतृगामीसनोऽवतु। जयलाभयशकामा धातुर्दत्तस्य यस्त्वं भोगमोक्षप्रदस्ये प्रपटे सकृती भवे। अनन्तसंसार समुद्रतारा नौकायिताभ्यां गुरुभक्तिदाभ्यां वैराग्यसाम्राज्यदपूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः। श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः। श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां कवित्ववारासि निशाकराभ्यां दौर्भाग्यदावां बुधमालिकाभ्यां दूरीकृतानम्र विपतिदाभ्यां नमो नमः। श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नताययो श्रीपतितां समीयुः कदाचिदभ्याशु दरिद्रवर्या मूकाश्च वाचस्पतितां हिताभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नालीकनिकाश पदाहृदाभ्यां नानाविमोहादि निवारिकाभ्यां नमज्जनाभीष्ट ततिप्रदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नृपालिमौळि व्रजरत्नकान्ति सरिद्विराजत् झषकन्यकाभ्यां नृपत्वदाभ्यां नतलोकपङ्क्तेः नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां पापान्धकारार्क परम्पराभ्यां तापत्रयाहीन्द्र खगेश्वराभ्यां जाड्याब्धिसंशोषणवाडवाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां समाधिषट्क प्रदवैभवाभ्यां समाधिदाना व्रतदीक्षिताभ्यां रामाधवाङ्घ्रि स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां स्वार्चापराणाम् अखिलेष्टदाभ्यां स्वाहा सहायाक्ष दुरन्धराभ्यां स्वां ताश्च भाव प्रदपूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां कामादिसर्प व्रजगारुडाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्य निधिप्रदाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुका। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। परमगुरुभ्यो नमः। परमेष्टिगुरुभ्यो नमः। सप्तऋषिभ्यो नमः। ध्रुवाय नमः। सनकाय नमः। सनन्दनाय नमः। सनत्कुमाराय नमः। मैत्रेयाय नमः। शुकाय नमः। व्यासाय नमः। नारदाय नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम नमः श्री गुरुदेवाय परमपुरुषाय सर्वदेवतावशीकराय सर्वारिष्टविनाशाय सर्वमन्त्रच्छेदनाय त्रैलोक्यं वशमानय स्वाहा। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Namaskaram, Master. Namaskaram, Master KPK. Namaskaram, Master EK. Namaskaram, Master MN. Namaskaram, Master CVV. Namaskaram, Master CVV. Namaskaram, Master CVV, to your lotus feet. ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् हरिः ॐ शन्नो मित्रशं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्अर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षात् प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतुं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May the light in me be the light before me. May I learn to see it in all. May the sound I utter reveal the light in me. May I listen to it while others speak. May the silence in and around me present itself. The silence which we break every moment. May it fill the darkness of noise we do and convert it into the light of our background. Let virtue be the strength of my intelligence. Let realization be my attainment. Let my purpose shape into the purpose of our earth. Let my plan be an epitome of the divine plan. May we speak the silence without breaking it. May we live in the awareness of the background. May we transact light in terms of joy. May we be worthy to find place in the eternal kingdom. Om. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. यकिरालकुलाम्बोधिविदुमानन्दरूपिणम् अनन्तार्यतनो जातं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. श्रीकृष्णमाचार्यमनन्तपुत्रं सत्साधुमित्रं करुणाद्रनेत्रं गुरुं गुरूणां पितरं पितॄणाम् अनन्यशेष शरणं प्रपद्ये. समस्तयोगी जनतारकं तं सनत्कुमारं शरणं प्रपद्ये. कृपासमुद्रं सुगतस्य मित्रं तपश्चरन्तं गिरिराजपार्श्वे जगद्गुरुं सर्वमत प्रदीपं नमामि मैत्रेयम् अगाधबोधम् जगद्गुरो नमस्तुभ्यं हिमालयनिवासिने नमस्ते दिव्यदेहाय मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः जगद्गुरो नमस्तुभ्यं हिमालयनिवासिने नमस्ते दिव्यदेहाय मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः नमो ज्ञानस्वरूपाय मायामोहविदारिणे निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः नमस्ते बोधिसत्त्वाय नमस्ते पुण्यमूर्तये पूर्णानन्दस्वरूपाय मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः सिद्धिबुद्धिप्रयुक्ताय सिद्धिबुद्धिप्रदायिने भवभीतिविनाशाय मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः नमस्ते कर्मनिष्ठाय योगिनां पतये नमः ब्रह्मज्ञानस्वरूपाय मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः नमस्ते गुरुदेवाय नमस्ते धर्मसेतवे नारायणनियुक्ताय मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः नमस्ते करुणासिन्धो प्रेमपीयूषवर्षिणे जगद्बन्धो नमस्तुभ्यं मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः जगद्बन्धो नमस्तुभ्यं मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः मैत्रेयाय नमो नमः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A hearty welcome to one and all on this grand occasion of celebration of Master M.N. birthday. This is from time to time we celebrate the birthdays of the people who have shown us the path towards light. The purpose for these such celebrations is to recollect how they have traveled the path and seek inspiration and their blessing for us to follow that path. On this occasion, we have two speakers today who will help us connect with the life of the Master and the inspiration that they give us. Today, the first speaker will be Srimati Deepa Garu. I respectfully request her to come on to the dais and give her talk.
Namaskarams and greetings to one and all. So, today we are all gathered here to celebrate the birthday of one of the most subtle and one of the most fiery masters of the hierarchy whom we follow on Master CVV path. So when we, actually Master MN was called as the pole star of this hierarchy. He was even called as Little Master by Master CVV himself. So as Murali sir aptly said, we gathered together again and again to recollect their teachings through their either through their biographies or their history or their teachings, so that we are regathered again into their presence. Once Master KPK has told that the more and more we listen to the history, life history of any great masters, and the more and more we recollect their teachings, the more and more we are into their presence. So that is how it is going through years and generations together. Master MN, so in the hierarchy whom we follow, there are nodal points of birthdays. Master CVV's is on 4th August, and Master EK's is on 11th August, and Master MN's is on 25th August, and we can include Master KPK also, that is November 7th, because we can include him also as the 4th one. So all these birthdays are celebrated like festivals in World Teacher Trust. Master MN was born in Naidu Pete in Nellore district. He was born on a Saturday. It was an Ashtami, and it was under Kritika Nakshatra. So he was born in a family where they were all Krishna worshippers. He was born into the family where they traditionally worship Lord Krishna, and then he finished his education. Then he was initially he was a lecturer. He was teaching physics, and he has even written a textbook on physics that was a prescribed syllabus in the pre-university in Andhra. And then he got inspired very much from his Mamaya, that is mother's brother, usually it happens so. So he was in Chennai, the uncle was in Chennai, and he got inspired from him, and then he also becomes an advocate, or in those days he was called barrister. He becomes a barrister of law, and he's practicing law and going to court and everything. But he was always feeling, Master MN was always feeling that something is not there in his life. He was married, he had a family, he found something lacking and he was very restless. Master KPK in one of his discourses has told that those who are born in Kritika Nakshatram, they are always restless in nature. It happens, so it's a bhava of the nakshatra. So and he used to feel that, and once he goes to Chennai to meet his uncle, there he meets one person by name Janaki Ram. I mean, he's his relative only, uncle's brother-in-law or something. Mr. Janaki Ram is a homeopath by profession. And then Master MN tells him the same thing, you know, that something is not there. I mean, I don't feel at peace. I'm not at ease. So Janaki Ram says, he was following Master CVV path, yoga. He says, why don't you go to Chennai, I mean, go to Kumbakonam. You know, there is one person by name Master CVV. You can meet him because you always say that you're not at peace. So Master MN, he listens, but then he sees, and then coincidentally he gets some cases in Tanjore. Tanjore is half an hour away from Kumbakonam. So he has to go to Tanjore. Then he feels, why not I go to Kumbakonam, because it's half an hour drive, and he goes. He goes to Kumbakonam, enters Dabir Street, and then he enters into Mas CVV's house. We have all seen Mas CVV's house, but the earlier version was slightly different. And then he enters, he sees that Mas CVV is already at the door. You know, as if he feels that as if he's waiting, as if he knows that I am coming. That's what Master MN, for 1 second, he feels like that. Then Master CVV is at the door and he receives, and then the only question Master CVV asks is, for what have you come? And Master MN says, I want peace. You know, immediate reply, I want peace. And then Master CVV says, it's granted. Only those 2 words he says. And Master MN writes in his diary, this Master KPK had told us previously somewhere, in his diary Master MN has written that from that moment till the rest of my life, I never felt any unease or not at peace. Just those 2 words made me completely at peace. He felt it. You know, Master MN is a, moon sign is Gemini. Gemini are analytical, and they're also, you know, there's an intellectual mind. It's not completely, once you see it, you just believe it, and Geminis are not like that. So even for him, he felt, okay, so I'm completely at peace. He feels very happy, and he just can't believe it. That's the word. Then he asked Master CVV, would you be kind enough, you know, to initiate me to this path? Then Master CVV just makes him sit then and there. No coming, no, you know, all preparation, nothing. He just tells him to sit, initiates him to the yoga, and then he says, from daily you go back to Ongole. Master MN was in Ongole at that time. So you go back, you morning, evening, daily you do prayers. Whatever you want, whatever you need, it will come to you. You don't have to go anywhere. And Master CVV also says, you need not come here again. That's what Master CVV says. So Master MN prostrates before him and then goes back to Ongole. He takes a picture of Master CVV in his room and starts prayers regularly, morning, evening, you know. In this aspect, why he's called the fiery master is because his entry was so fast, and how he proceeded on the path was very fiery. He just, within span of 5 years, Master MN was healing others. He was already initiating people onto the path. So far, so many people, it was like, you know, how Christianity propaganda happens, that way. That was the way Master MN was attracting people, and he was initiating so many people onto the path. Actually, Master MN asks in his prayers one day, he asked Master CVV, people are asking me to initiate, can I do it? But next day he gets a postcard from Master CVV from Kumbakonam. Yes, you can initiate people. He asks in his prayer, and he gets a physical copy of the postcard by post next day. So then anyway, he does it. He's very much into the path, completely healing people. You know, he was, it just used to happen. And whenever people used to pass through his, just next to his door, and you know, on the road they are going, and we generally have a habit, you know, we keep peeping. Whenever we go past a house, we don't just go straight, you know, we peep. So it is a habit, we do it without thinking, we do it. Whenever we go past a house, we have to peep and see what, I don't know, we do it. So they used to peep inside, and they used to see that people were all standing in different postures, one like this, and some were stuck to the wall, and some were sitting on the compound. Sitting on the compound also, so people used to think this is one madhouse. People are, how they're sitting like this, some people used to think. And others used to think there is a ghost inside, I think. That's why people are behaving very strangely in that Mainampati Narsimham house. That's why, you know, there must be a ghost. That was the idea. But people who knew Master MN knew that he was in yoga and he was initiating people into yoga. So all those things were happening, were part of the process. That was what those who knew him thought like that. And Master MN was always preferring to give long prayers, long duration, prayers. He used to do courses, you know, Merry Life courses, all those courses which Master CVV gave. Master MN used to do it in his house, and he used to gather people and just do it. Keep doing prayers, yoga, so much into yoga, and healing was happening just without effort. Master VPS, that is Vetur Prabhakar Shastri Garu, who was in Tirupati, was also the same way, very much fastly initiated into Master CVV yoga, but he was more into healing than to the yoga. I mean, yoga was there, but more into healing. Master MN was more into yoga path, and he used to call everyone who used to come there to his house as yoga friends, you know. All are friends of yoga. That was what he used to feel. And he could, so Master MN was, he could heal people, even Master, in the book also it's given, so whenever one boy had a snake bite, and then the people came crying, snake has bit my son or something, and he took a stick and just hit the floor here, and wherever the boy was, he got cured. And just nearly about to die, those people were brought to Master MN, and he wouldn't even touch. He could just hit the floor or the wall, and people just got cured by, and they were even, you know, recovered completely from deathbed also. So such things used to happen, and that's why Master CVV used to call him Little Master. Actually, when people used to come to Master CVV from Andhra Pradesh, Master CVV used to tell, it seems, why you are coming all the way to get initiated to Kumbakonam? You go to Ongole, there only one Little Master is there. He will initiate you. Like that he used to say. Imagine, Master CVV used to say that, and Master MN used to, you know, just effortlessly it used to happen. As with many Siddhas and Mahatmas, so when I say Mahatma, in the Puranas it is said that a person through whom the angels start working, and that person, if he is working for the humanity, for the benefit of the humanity, such persons eventually in their life will become Mahatmas. That is how it is said in the Puranas also. So Master MN also was one such Mahatma only. So when he could easily guess what is in the other person's mind, what that person is thinking, it happens on the way. I think he could easily guess and realize. He used to help his disciples also to overcome some difficulties even before the student knows it. So he used to avoid many difficult situations for them. He used to try to help. He was a very compassionate man, very compassionate, joyful. He was a very good tennis player. He used to go to clubs. He used to smoke. But one thing we have to understand here is, Master MN was a completely Westerner in his outlook. You know, he used to wear jeans, t-shirts, go to clubs, take a tennis racket and go to club. You know, it's a nice picture to imagine. And then he was a complete Westerner, but so we can learn that you cannot go by appearances. But on the inner side, he was so much Eastern in the sense, he was completely into yoga, very, very disciplined, completely dedicated to the yoga path and healing, and with Master CVV, all the three. So he was, Master KPK only has told in one discourse that, I think it's in the book also, He was completely Western on the outlook and Eastern on the inside. That was how he has been described. So once yeah, that's what he could understand what was in the people's mind. You know, there is one. As I'm speaking now, I got this. There was one lady by name, a pious devotee by name Helavankatte Giriyamma in Karnataka. She was in Rani Bennur district. A serial also was produced recently. So the Giriyamma, from childhood, she was the devotee of Lord Ranganatha. Always she used to worship him from childhood, offer milk and food to Ranganatha Swami temple was there in Helavankatte. It's still there. And then only she used to take food, and she used to think Lord Ranga is only her husband. But in those days, you know, as usual, they did the childhood marriage for her, and she was married. So many were there, no? Just like Mirabai, Sati Sakkubai, so many were there in those times. She was a contemporary. But luckily for her, her husband was very much supporting her, and father-in-law also was supporting her, Helavankatte Giriyamma. So once she is in her husband's house, and father-in-law is doing puja, so a few people come to asking her father-in-law. So she says, no, my father-in-law is in the chappal store, shoe store, you know, slipper. So then they go away, okay. And then father-in-law is doing puja, he overheard her saying that. After puja, he comes and asks Giriyamma, Giriyamma, I was in the puja room, I was doing puja. Why did you say I'm in the chappal store? Then Giriyamma says, physically you were doing puja here, but your mind was in the chappal store. Tomorrow you have to collect chappals, no? That you are thinking while you are doing puja. 1 second, father-in-law was like, it is true. He was stunned that Giriyamma could know what he was thinking. Why I told this is the same context. Master MN could just easily understand what was in the opposite person's mind, and he used to, you know, make jokes sometimes, react accordingly, help them. He used to do so many incidences are there, but I don't want to overrule my time. So that's how he used to do it, and he would not suffer fools gladly, in the sense that he could understand what point that person is trying to make whenever they come to meet him, you know. So always there used to be a teapot next to him in the veranda. So on the teapot there was one coffee jug. He was a coffee lover. Most of the masters in our hierarchy are so. Coffee lover. And then he had a pack of cigarettes always. And then a black strap watch was always on his hand. Cigarettes was there, but anyway. So whoever comes to his house for whatever purpose, it was given to them. So people come for yoga. Yoga was given. People come with case was taken. People come for help financially, money was given. So there used to be a coat hanging in the hall, that black coat, you know, the lawyers wear. So the coat was there, and if anyone asks money, he used to tell them, you go take from the coat pocket. They used to go and take it. When anyone gives money to him, he used to tell them, don't give me. If you want, if you feel like, you can give and put it in the pocket. So they used to put it in the pocket. So what we can understand is there is always money in the pocket, that we can understand. And he never took money from his clients. He was very firm about it. He never used it. He never took it. Once Master KPK told, when I was in Visakhapatnam, I was in college, at that time I had been there, so he was telling, these were the words Master KPK told, in my life, I have never asked anyone for anything. But at that time, it did not strike me, but even today I can remember, Master KPK told this line, I have written my book also. In my life, I have never asked anyone for anything. I have never wanted for anything. This Master KPK told seriously one day. And he, in recent discourse about Master MN, he has told, Master MN was not taking clients, money from clients, and the same principle I have also followed in my life was what Master KPK told, that he would not ask money from his clients. Master KPK never did it. That's what he says in the discourse. So Master MN was like that. And people, so when his presence also used, when in the same context, when Master MN was, Master KPK was speaking about Master MN in Switzerland. In Switzerland discourse only he told this, that he never took money from anyone, Master KPK told. And in the same context, later in another discourse, when he was telling that in Switzerland, when he was talking about Master MN, he gave 1 hour discourse, Master KPK, 2009 or 2012, I think, in Switzerland. He was speaking about Master MN to all the Western Brotherhood. And then they all could feel the presence of Master MN with a mild, pleasant cigar smell that he has written in the book also, I think. So it was a very pleasant surprise, and you know, it's a very nice feeling that we are feeling the presence of the Master through the cigarette smell. And it was not a suffocating smell, you know, it was a very pleasant cigar smell. Cigar is a higher version of cigarette, if anyone doesn't know. Cigar is a refined cigarette, that's what we can tell. And then, because in public places in abroad, no one will smoke outside. It's completely banned and they strictly follow it. And no one in our brotherhood was smoking. So they all could understand that Master MN's presence was felt that day through the cigar smell. This Master KPK also has told recently, and I think it's in the book. So that's how Master MN had, you know, playfully given his presence also. Then it goes on. All these yoga practices, healing, teaching, everything, courses, everything goes on. And he even once, one widow who used to regularly come to Master MN, she sells some house or some property and she gets money. She gets money, 4,000 rupees. At that time it was a big amount. So she gets that money and keeps it and comes for the prayer. And after prayer, Master MN only asks her, by chance, if you have 4,000 rupees, I need it, can you give it to me? Master MN asks. So then the lady, she's a widow and she feels, he's asking me, but she wanted it, she may need it, you know. So she tells, you know, a sweet lie that I don't have that much money. And Master MN says, okay, if you don't have, no problem, it's okay, leave it. And after 2 years, you know, she loses the money. The relatives only take it from her and they don't give back. Then she tells Master MN, she was crying, and she tells, Ayo Master, you had asked me 4,000 rupees, I lost it. My relatives only took it from me and they didn't give back. Master MN says, I knew it, that's why I asked 4,000 rupees from you that day. What will I do with your money? I asked you so that I could avoid you losing the money later on. You will need it. You are a widow and you may need it. And I knew your relatives would take it from you, so I asked you that money that day. But you told a lie also, it's okay, you know, he smiles. What to do, she will keep repenting. But Master MN says, you won't get the money back, it's okay, leave it. You know, that's one small incident Master KPK has mentioned in the book also. So it goes on. And then once, so yeah, I was telling he won't, he would make out the whatever foolish people, if anyone comes also, he could make out, he could understand what they're trying to say. You know, there is one small, it's an anecdote, I read it in one English question paper a few days back. There is one donkey and one tiger in a jungle. It's a story, aside from the story. So they are in a jungle and they're fighting. The tiger is telling the grass is green and the donkey is telling the grass is blue. Many of you may know this story. So they keep fighting, you know, they're shouting at each other, and finally who will solve their problem? They come to the king. Lion is, you know, he's a Leo, he sees from distance itself, he can make out, okay, fine, they're fighting about grass. And the tiger is shouting, the grass is green, the grass is green. And donkey is shouting, grass is blue, grass is blue. They come and the lion just sees and then tells the donkey, yes, the grass is blue. Donkey feels very happy. Oh, okay, grass is blue. And then the lion gives punishment to the tiger, 5 years of silence. You have to be silent for 5 years, no speaking. The tiger is stunned and the donkey goes away. And after one moment, the tiger asks lion, How can you do this? You know grass is green and you are giving punishment to me? Silence. Why? So the lion says, the punishment is because you being a noble and majestic animal, you are wasting your time arguing with a fool. For that the punishment is given. And on top of that, you have wasted 15 minutes of my time settling your issues. So for that, I am giving 5 years of silence to you. You know, it's a very small anecdote. I saw in the English question paper in PU quarterly paper. It was in my mind, so I just told it now because it's general knowledge also, but Master MN could just identify, and he has dealt so many cases, because what has happened is we don't have many books on Master MN. Master MN never wrote any book in his lifetime except one physics textbook. That's all he wrote. And he did not allow any of his students to write any book on him. You know, he never encouraged. Only after he left his body, one of his students by name Guduri Namashivaya, he wrote Ma Gurudevulu on Master MN. After seeing that book, many followers of Master MN, Master CVV, went in search of that Ongole house, you know, but later it seems Master MN's son had sold it, something had happened, it was not there. And it was a big disappointment to many of their followers after seeing that book. And our master has written in English, and I think it's in Telugu also, about Master MN. Master KPK also told one person by name Hanumant Rao to finish the book he was writing on Master MN. Hanumant Rao was in some Hanumanguda, Ramagudam or some place. Ramagudam. So he had been to Vizag Guru Puja. He was invited by Master, and when he went there, he spoke about Master MN. And then Master KPK told him to finish the book, what he was writing in Telugu. Finally, he finished it. He took a long time. And then later, Master MN also, Master KPK also wrote in English, whatever, the book we have now. Otherwise, there are no books. Even if you search in Google also, you don't find any books. Even lectures also, very few. Our Master's lecture only is there. Master KPK's discourse only is there. Nothing else, nothing much information at all. He was a very silent Master. Then it goes on, and even his departure was actually just like Master CVV. Master MN also knew when he was going to go. He even tells his students, you know, March 11th, if you are free, you can come. 3 days before, he tells his students, if you are free on March 11th, you can come and meet me. Like that he tells, and casually he mentions. We students also, we take always casually, and they also just, okay, they thought and they forgot about it. Master MN, you know, got ready very well that day, took oil bath, had fresh clothes, nicely got ready, went to the court also, spoke well. He spoke to all his colleagues, all his friends, came back home, again took bath, wore fresh clothes, sat for prayer. 5 minutes still, time was there for prayer. So his wife said, I will get you some coffee. Master MN was silent. She goes to bring coffee. 2 minutes later, she comes and Master has left the body. So fast, and she was shocked and stunned to see that how Master, without even giving a hint to her, he just left, you know. And it was Master KPK says actually very nicely, it is a glorious departure of Master MN after the times of Master CVV. So that is how he tells in the discourse, in the book also. It was a very glorious departure of Master MN. He goes, if in our lifetime, you know, our goal should be that. So that is how it is. And then he leaves, and then the disciples, students come running, and then they say, oh, he told to come on March 11th, but we didn't take it seriously. Like that they lament, and then he leaves. So then that's how it has gone on, and then so why he was, the fiery aspect was that, still, it is. Master KPK once told, whenever we say the name Master, Namaskaram's Master CVV, just a second before Master CVV is there, Master MN is already there. That is how we should receive. Before we even, Master CVV, just before 1 second, Master MN is there. Why he is there? to light the torch of yoga in us, you know. For everyone who are in this hierarchy following Master's path, Master MN is the torch bearer. That we should never forget, because he is always ready, ever ready to arrive at any time. Even to help Master CVV also he could do it. So that is how we should also receive him. In one of the discourses, Master KPK had told this, that he is the torch bearer of the path. He continues to be so, and I will conclude my few words. All these, whatever I am speaking, is all the reflections of what we have received from our Master KPK. All these are reflections. All these are the revelations which he has done. Otherwise, I don't know whether about Master MN this much also would be available. I really doubt. Because Master EK, about Master EK, so many students he had, but Master MN, I don't know, he even did a Satya Yoga Mandali or something he had started, Master MN. So that is still on, that is still there. The students are still doing prayers and yoga and everything. But the information we have about Master MN is very limited. If not for our Master, it would have been very limited. So now we should be grateful for him also, for compiling a book about him. And few Andhra people also have done it. As I said, Namah Shivaya and Mr. Hanumant Rao have written a book. So I thank you for the opportunity. And one more thing I want to say, Murali sir has given that poster very aptly, you know, that flame, and in that flame, Master MN's photo is there. He's called a fiery flame also. He's called the pole star, little master, fiery flame, torch bearer for this path of yoga. Master MN is being mentioned like that in few books. Thank you for the opportunity. Namaskar. Thank you.
On behalf of the entire brotherhood, I thank Mr. Deepa for a very candid and flow of words was like music. I thank her for giving the detailed information about Master MN, coupled with very good anecdotes and examples. Now I request our second speaker for the day, Sri Venkatesh Manjunath, to come onto the dais and deliver his talk.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri, Gurave Namaha. My humble salutations to all the lotus feet of masters. My humble salutations to Master CVV, Master MN, Master EK, Master KPK and Master RPG. My respectful greetings to everyone present here. Today is very special and auspicious occasion as we have gathered to celebrate the birth anniversary of Master MN. On this occasion, I feel privileged to speak a few words about the life, teachings and service of Master MN. Before I begin, I would like to sincerely thank Sister Deepa for beautifully presenting the life history of Master MN and helping us understand his life and spiritual journey. When we remember a great master, we can look beyond the events of his life to the deeper significance of his presence, his teachings and the example he left to us. So today I would like to reflect on the special significance of Master MN, his teachings and the lessons we can bring into our own daily lives. Let us ask ourselves, so how did he live? What did he teach? What can we learn from his life and apply in our own lives? What was his special role in the work of Master CVV? Why was he called Little Master? Why he is remembered as the fiery flame? And most importantly, what can we learn from his life and bring into our own daily lives? Master MN and the householder life. Master MN occupies a very important place in the spiritual tradition connected with Master CVV and Master EK. One of the most inspiring aspects of his life is that he did not leave his family or society in order to pursue spirituality. His greatness was not simply in the spiritual knowledge he received. It was in the way he lived, practiced and served. He lived as a householder, fulfilled his responsibilities and pursued the path of yoga with great dedication. This gives us a very important message. Many of us sometimes think, I have family responsibilities, I have a job, I have children, I have financial responsibilities. With all these things, how can I lead a spiritual life? The life of Master MN gives us an answer. We do not have to leave our responsibilities to become spiritual. We can transform our daily life itself into a path of yoga. Our family life, our professional life, our relationships, our service can all become part of our spiritual practice. We have to learn how to perform our responsibilities with awareness, sincerity and the right attitude. He searched for truth. Before meeting the Master CVV, Master MN experienced a period of inner restlessness and deep questioning about life, death and the purpose of human existence. This search eventually led him towards Master CVV, and this reminds us of something very significant. A sincere search for truth may begin with questions. Sometimes we may not have answers, sometimes we may experience inner restlessness, but if the search is sincere, it can become the beginning of a spiritual journey. His connection with Master CVV. A major turning point in Master MN's life was his connection with Master CVV. The December call has special significance in the life of Master MN. It was on December 29, 1919 that Master MN received initiation to the yoga of Master CVV. From then onwards, he dedicated himself deeply into this spiritual work. Master MN became one of the important mediums through whom the yoga of Master CVV was carried forward. Little Master. Master CVV had a special affection for Master MN and called him Little Master. These two words may sound simple, but they indicate the special place Master MN held in relation to Master CVV and his work. According to the disciples associated with Master EK, Master MN was regarded as one of the foremost mediums of Master CVV and an important link in the continuation of this work. A master is not great merely because of knowledge. The greatness of a person is revealed through dedication, sincerity, discipline, purity, responsibility and service. And these qualities are strongly reflected in the life and work of Master MN. The fiery flame. Master MN represented the fiery quality of transformation in the yoga of Master CVV. Master KPK has also described Master MN in connection with fiery aspect, while the Master CVV has been described in relation to the airy element. The word fire itself has a beautiful significance. It gives light, it gives warmth and it transforms. Fire also burns away what is unnecessary. In the same way, spiritual fire helps us to transform ourselves. So, when we remember Master MN as the fiery flame, we can ask ourselves, is there a spiritual fire burning within us? Are we trying to transform ourselves? Are we becoming more disciplined, more patient, more loving, more cooperative, more useful to others? Because the real purpose of spiritual practice is not simply to collect spiritual knowledge. It is to bring about transformation within ourselves. Master MN has also been described as a pole star in the yoga of Master CVV. Why is the pole star significant? A pole star remains the steady and helps others to find direction. In a similar way, the life and work of Master MN can give direction those who sincerely walk into the path of yoga. Transformation requires regularity. Spiritual transformation does not happen overnight. It is said that Master MN followed the yoga of Master CVV with great dedication for 12 years, through which he underwent profound inner transformation and attained masterhood. This gives us a very important lesson. Spiritual transformation requires patience, regularity, and dedication. We may pray today and expect a transformation tomorrow. We may feel inspired today. Tomorrow we may feel tired. The next day we may become busy, but the spiritual path requires us to continue. Regularity is more important than temporary enthusiasm. The life of Master MN shows us the true transformation is a gradual process. Independence. After his spiritual experience, Master MN expressed, "I gain independence." He also referred to himself as Akshara Purusha, the indestructible person. From him, spiritual freedom was not merely an idea or philosophical concept, it was an inner state of realization. This word independence is very meaningful. Usually, when we hear the word independence, we think of freedom, something outside. But the spiritual independence is different. It is freedom from our own limitations. It is freedom from unnecessary desires. It is freedom from unnecessary fears. It is freedom from reactions. Freedom from dependence on external circumstances for our inner peace. This is a much deeper form of independence. His practical teachings. Another beautiful aspect of Master MN's teaching is their practical nature. He encouraged aspirants to maintain discipline in their daily lives. For example, keep a notebook ready to record important inner instructions and experiences. Reduce unnecessary movements. Reduce unnecessary contacts. Reduce unnecessary speech. And at the same time, remain friendly and sociable with family, friends, and colleagues. The emphasis was on bring awareness and discipline into our everyday activities, on how we conduct ourselves throughout the day. This is very practical even for us today. We live in a world where there is a constant movement, constant communication, and constant distraction. Master MN emphasis on simplicity, discipline, observation, and meaningful activity becomes even more relevant in our present life. What can we actually apply? So now if we ask ourselves, what can we actually take from the life and teachings of Master MN? I would like to keep it very simple. First, regular prayer. We should develop regularity in our spiritual practice. Even if the practice is simple, regularity gives strength. Second, fulfill our responsibilities sincerely. Our family and professional responsibilities should not be considered obstacles to our spiritual life. They can become opportunities to practice patience, responsibility, understanding, and love. Third, observe ourselves. Instead of constantly trying to change others, we should first observe our own thoughts, emotions, reactions, and behavior. Fourth, develop love and cooperation. We should learn to live harmoniously with others. We should learn to understand, forgive, cooperate, and support one another. Fifth, become useful through service. Whatever ability, knowledge, time, or resources we have, we should try to use them for the benefit of others. And this brings us to perhaps the greatest message from the life of Master MN. Spirituality and daily life are not two separate things. Our family life, our profession, our relationships, our responsibilities, our service, all of these can become part of spiritual practice. We do not need to wait for a perfect situation to begin our spiritual life. We can begin wherever we are, whatever we do, whatever responsibilities we have. That is why the lives of masters are so valuable to us. They did not merely give us teachings, they demonstrated those teachings through their lives. A simple thought to remember: if I had to express the essence of Master MN in just 5 lines, I would say: pray regularly, live responsibly in the world, observe and transform yourself, love and cooperate with others, use your life in service of the greater good. And perhaps the deepest message is: the purpose of yoga is not merely to know the divine, but to allow the divine to express through our daily life. On this auspicious occasion of birth anniversary of Master MN, let us not remember him only by speaking about him. Let us try to bring at least a small part of his teachings into our daily lives. Let us become a little more regular, a little more disciplined, a little more observant, a little more patient, a little more loving, a little more cooperative, and a little more useful to others. We may not be able to transform ourselves completely in a day, but we can take one small step every day. And if that step is taken with sincerity and regularity, gradually it can become a journey of transformation. That perhaps is one of the most beautiful way of remembering the Master, not only by speaking about him, but by trying to live at least a small part of what he demonstrated. So on this sacred occasion, let us remember Master MN with gratitude. Let us remember him as the little master. Let us remember him as the fiery flame. Let us remember him as a pole star who showed direction. And most importantly, let us try to carry the light, discipline, love and spirit of service into our daily lives. I sincerely thank the Brotherhood for giving me this opportunity to speak on this stage and share few thoughts about Master MN on this occasion. Thank you.
I sincerely thank Brother Venkatesh Manjunath for the potentized imparting of the great life of Master MN, and there was a perfect harmony, I would say, between the speech of Sister Deepa and Brother Venkatesh Manjunath, in which they have very well presented the biographical information as well as the spiritual aspect and what we need to take as a learning for our life to thread the path. Like said by both our speakers today, this recollection has to help us thread the path to make progress. That is one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is, like Brother Manjunath has very well said, this path is not a path of withdrawal. This path is path of transformation. So, first and foremost thing which has been given as a bookmark also by Master KPK is to be spiritual, to be normal is to be spiritual. So, while we conduct ourselves in the life as a normal person without any show or pomp or a face of yoga practitioner, as Master KPK would call, you conduct your practices in a way deep inside yourself, and that is very well demonstrated in the life of Master MN. There was never any iota of display of the practices that he was doing till he achieved a very advanced stage. Even when he achieved that advanced state of yoga, he never demonstrated anything. People started to know about it, like Sister Deepa has mentioned, through the things happening in the house. People started understanding that something is happening. He never expressed that as a matter of his pride or his achievement. That is one thing definitely we all should learn from the life of Master MN. And the clarity of thought he had as to what he wants in spiritual path is something that we all should recollect and reflect. Why we are coming to prayers, why we are doing a particular practice, what is the purpose of whatever we are doing in the name of yoga or any spiritual practice. When Master MN met Master CVV, it was very clear to him that he wanted peace. He asked Master for peace and peace was granted to him. Do we have such a level of clarity is what we should think. When I am saying we, it is I actually. So we get up every morning, we rush to the prayer, we do the prayer and we go back. We come in the evening again if possible and we do the prayer. But what is that we need to desire in prayer? That we should have clarity. And Master KPK in more than one occasion had clearly mentioned that without, desire has two aspects. One is worldly desire in terms of me having a family, me having a car, me having riches and me having a good job and all that. The other aspect of desire is the desire to make spiritual progress. That has been the thing that the positive aspect of desire. And one sentence I recollect now that Master EK had mentioned and also Master KPK had mentioned in his lectures. That is, if at all you have to ask something, ask your master. You don't have to ask anybody else. If at all you have to ask. Instead of going and extending your hand for help with the worldly things outside, you submit it to your master and it will be taken care. And it will be taken care if it is a desirable desire. And he always tells, Master gives what you need, not what you want. So that is another aspect that we have to learn from the life of our masters. The other thing is, like our Sister Deepa had mentioned, he was a healer of very great order, Master MN. And that healing is possible because of the compassion he had and because of the goodwill. When we are thinking of helping anybody in any of the planes, physical, mental, emotional or financial planes, what is must, like when we see the life of the masters, is what is must is a unwavering compassion to the beings. That alone can make what we offer pure and useful to others. Otherwise, it will be colored with our emotion. If we think that today I am doing Narayan Seva, a lot of people are getting benefited and you feel happy about it, okay. The attitude with which you approach that service, attitude with which you help others is of prime importance. And that is what is called out in the life of Master MN, and our Master KPK has demonstrated it multiple times. The need for empathy, compassion to our fellow beings. And like I said earlier, he never projected himself. That is the humility he demonstrated, and that is something that we always have to keep in mind. Humility is the greatest ornament that a person can get. By doing a small thing like I make arrangement for audio or I make some arrangement for something else, if I feel that I have accomplished something, you will slowly fall victim to one great vice, that is pride. So, a master of stature of Master MN never claimed or never exhibited any of the extraordinary powers or the spiritual progress he had. That is another thing that we definitely have to learn from him. And what is spirituality? One of the beautiful definition that Master MN has demonstrated through his life is selfless service is practical spirituality. And in the World Teacher Trust, that is what our masters have guided us to do. That is, do selfless service. In the words of Master E.K., serve, serve, serve till you forget you are serving. That is the aspect that we should always remember. And with few words on Master MN, if you see the life of Master MN, his early life was very successful. He was a very good student, and like it was mentioned, he wrote a book on physics. Writing a book in those days was a very great achievement by itself. Unlike now, where electronic this one and people write something and publish it, okay, in the electronic media, writing a book itself is a great achievement. That too, he wrote a book in physics, right? So it is not that he is some ordinary student or an average student. He was a brilliant student. He was successful very much with his profession, but at the same time, he knew that he has to go with his inner calling. That our ability to go with our inner calling is a conviction that all of us have to develop. If you believe that if you believe that this is the path I am going to take, or this is the goal I am setting to myself, we should have the conviction to go with that. Because of that conviction, when he was advised to go to Kumbakonam, and that he would get answer for something that he has been searching, he went there. That is step one. When he met his master, he had the clarity of thought as to what he has to ask. Number two. Number three, when he knew that whatever master CVV path is there, he has to follow, he followed it for rest of his life. That is the dedication that he has shown. To have the three steps that we just spoke about, you have to have the conviction deep inside. Small things, if they are wavering me out of what I think I need to do, I will never achieve my goals. That is what I learn from the life of Master MN. Of course, from Master CVV and Master KPK and Master EK also. They dedicated their life completely to the path that they believed in. And it will not be out of order to say that that is what our Master RPJ also has been continuously demonstrating. In spite of he is fulfilling all his responsibilities as a householder, but at the same time, his dedication to Master is something that is extraordinary to say. And with living around such a master, if we have to do anything, that is to imbibe a little bit of that in ourselves, or a little bit of that in myself. That is my hope, right? So, the thing that I would like to say is, it is that sheer grace of the master that we are all gathered in this path. Like it is said in the book Initiation Human and Solar, if you have a desire to follow the path of spirituality, your first initiation is done. So, we should be grateful to the Master that we are able to gather and we are able to orient ourselves to the path of light, and we should thank the Masters on every possible occasion, and this is one such occasion where we recollect the life and teachings of our Master MN, and pray humbly that they guide us to thread the path and help us reorient from time to time whenever we waver from that path, and achieve the progress that they deserve of us. It is not we deserving to what we want to do. They should deserve as to how we have to progress. And that they deserving is the submission that I believe we have to make to the Masters. The Master KPK, I'll conclude in a few minutes. In the Master KPK has once said, I think if I remember correctly, that's what Master EK has also said, is that you don't know what you want. So don't ever ask the Master what you want. Just submit yourself to the Master and allow them to guide your life in a manner that is good for you. Whatever is Shreyas for you, the Masters will lead you. So that is the essence of the, or that is the attitude with which I have to do the prayer also. When we sit for the prayer, what we do is we utter the name of the Master and we have to observe inside. That is what is told. When we observe inside, whatever is happening should be done in such a, the observation has to be done in such a manner that it doesn't get colored by your own thoughts. For example, today I am doing my morning prayer and I am having some thing that I need to take care in my office. It is okay to submit that to the Master because you feel overwhelmed by that or you need some help. It is okay to submit. But if you spend your time in the prayer thinking how to solve that problem, you are not praying, you are thinking. So, our ability to submit ourselves to the Master, remain and observe what is happening is the way of doing the prayer. This is something that I believe and I wanted to share with all of you. So, once again, thanking the Masters for giving this wonderful opportunity to be in their presence time and again and congregate in this fashion to recollect the grand work that is being done by them and seek inspiration to thread that path. I thank one and all for your august presence today, and before we go to take the prasada, we will have Master E.K. Neerajanam. I request the volunteers to make the necessary arrangement. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. One small thing, that intimation was done by Sister Supraja. It is my bounden duty to tell that because Sister Deepa mentioned that I had sent the intimation, though I have sent, the good work has been done by Sister Supraja. I seek Master's blessings for the good work that she has done. Thank you.
गायत्रात्मक बुद्धिप्रचोदक गायत्रात्मक बुद्धिप्रचोदक श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् श्रीविदर्शक जगद्गुरुवाहिका श्रीविदर्शक जगद्गुरुवाहिका श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् ज्ञानस्वरूप ध्यानस्वरूप ज्ञानस्वरूप ध्यानस्वरूप श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् सततमन्दस्मित सर्वजनवन्दित सततमन्दस्मित सर्वजनवन्दित श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् सहृदयगोचर प्रेमावतार सहृदयगोचर प्रेमावतार श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् भागवतात्मक भावप्रकाशक भागवतात्मक भावप्रकाशक श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् योगबोधात्मक त्यागभवात्मक योगबोधात्मक त्यागभवात्मक श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् वेदगीतात्मक सर्वसेवात्मक वेदगीतात्मक सर्वसेवात्मक श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् धर्मसंस्थापक लोकसंरक्षक धर्मसंस्थापक लोकसंरक्षक श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् हे जगद्बन्धो हे करुणसिन्धो हे जगद्बन्धो हे करुणसिन्धो श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम् श्रीकृष्णमाचार्य जयमङ्गलम्
Prasada at Tripura basement. Some arrangements will be done, may have to wait for some time. Thank you. ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತ್ರಿಪುರ ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೊಗೊಂಬೋಣ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಸಾದ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Like our masters MN's progress, our program also has progressed very fast today. So we will give the volunteers a little time to arrange. Let us slowly gather there and have prasada before we disperse. Thank you, one and all.